Handgun presentation is really a basic step. It's something that is one of the fundamentals that you're going to have to learn through this video here in order to elevate to a different level. There's two different schools of thought. You have the 4-step process and the 2-step process. Now, as gunfighting perfected back in the 50s and 60s, you had the 2-step process, which was prevalent. And the 2-step process was real simple. It was basically engaging your weapon, drawing and firing. So you had a very quick method of dealing with an assailant. Now, because these techniques originally developed for military and law enforcement, because these are really the agencies that spend the money available and actually live through the kind of lifestyle that allow for techniques like this to be perfected. Because it originated there, there were safety concerns. Eventually that kind of process, there's times where that doesn't apply. One of those times is when you have a blended area with both bad guys and good guys. So a 2-step process, whether it be an officer, a soldier, or even a civilian, could accidentally injure or even kill a good guy just by being startled. So through time, bureaucracy, and a whole bunch of other neat things that no reason to get into right now, developed the 4-step process. And the 4-step process is really the 2-step process with a couple safety features added. Access your gun's the first step. Drawing is the second. Retention is the third. Now, retention, what I mean by that is keeping your weapon at the ready position against your body. You're asking me, what does this do? What this does is it gives you better access and control over your weapon in a close quarter situation. If you got an individual who's close enough to grab a gun out of your hand, you don't want to hand it to them. At the same time, at the ready position, it's natural for me, because I've trained this way, to keep my finger off the trigger. And I can't injure anyone if I keep my finger off the trigger. The gun will not go off by itself. So this allows me a good, effective way to actually survey my area, start assessing threats, and start realizing my game plan, which is basically done on the millisecond. So the 4-step process is this: access your weapon, draw your weapon, go to retention, punch out, and fire. I think both should be thoroughly practiced, and the reason's this. A 2-step process is very applicable towards an individual who jumps out at a bush or comes around a corner or even a car with the intent and ability to create serious bodily injury and or death. I don't see that working well if you're trying to clear your house at nighttime and you got kids in the house. A kid comes around the corner, and this happens, unfortunately, but a kid comes around the corner, and next thing you know, you're startled, fingers on the trigger, gun goes off, and now you're in a very serious situation, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to bury a loved one. And that's something we all want to avoid. The 4-step process has a lot of warrant here. At this point, if my master bedroom is on one side of the house and my child's bedroom's on the other, which I've got daughters, it'll never happen. At that point, I'm gonna have to clear that distance. Well, there could be a threat between that distance. I mean, there's a reason why I'm leaving my bedroom with my gun. So at that point, keeping my weapon in retention mode while I'm slowly making my way to my daughter's room gives me the allowance of safety if she ends up being what I thought was a burglar and comes around the corner and startles me. At that point, I have reference. I may jump, I may have a flinch reaction, but you know what? My finger's off the trigger. Gun won't go off. So that's really the difference in the 2-step and 4-step process. Once again, however you train is how you're going to react. So when you train, try to keep it simple at first. We'll get to the complexities throughout the video series, but this video is designed to go to fundamentals. So you want to learn these, cement these, and develop muscle memory out of all of it.